What did Lori Lightfoot do wrong?
Well, first of all, in the race, she chose to go after Chuy Garcia instead of going after Vallis, because she imagined that he was the front runner and he would be in that progressive lane, and so he would knock her out of the progressive race because the true progressives would go for him. And so that gave Vallis a free lane. And at the point they realized that he was gaining traction on the public safety and tried to pivot, he was already ahead and had solidified a lot of his base.
What were some of the other highlights? Because I know it was starting to feel a little bit like a racial situation as well.
And we haven't even seen the racial yet.
I know that's coming, but that was how it was starting to shake out. Del Marie, how did you see that race playing in this first election?
Well, I think that as a sign of desperation, Lori suddenly made it about race. You know, that's not what she ran on in 2019. Her base was the gay community, and it was the North Side in the first round. Right. African Americans didn't know who she was. She had to introduce herself to the African American community, and Willie Wilson helped her. He gave the black community permission, especially the clergy, permission to endorse her and embrace her.
And what do you mean by that? What do you mean by that?
He supported her, right? I know, but I mean, his support was just so crucial, which I'm trying to say is it might be crucial again in this, because he may go to Vallis.
How did what he did help Lightfoot? You said support. How do you say it supported her?
Because being a gay woman, especially among church pastors and ministers and reverends, that was, you know, standoffish. And so once he came out for her, they all had permission to come out for her, and they did. The other thing was, it was a calculated risk in 2019. Many of them went with her because they didn't know her. They knew Tony. They knew they weren't going to have an in to City Hall and the 5th floor with Tony. They might have an in and on the 5th floor with Lori, given that she was beholden to them because they helped her win the election. She got in there and kicked them all to the curb.
And Matt, I want to ask you a little bit about mercurial personalities. I think you know something about them.
Me?
Not you, but you definitely know someone who's got that sort of reputation.
You're right. What is the difference between a Rahm Emanuel and a Lori Lightfoot?
Well, and I want to go back to the question. I don't know that Lori made a mistake necessarily by going after Chuy. She had to make a choice, though, and this is kind of the original sin of her campaign. She didn't have the resources to run the kind of campaign that you need to run at that level. She had to make a choice to pick one. She couldn't really defend herself as much as she would have liked to. She couldn't talk about what she's been doing. There were the ads about, you know, the guys on the couch with the pizzas or whatever, but she was on defense the entire time and attacking. She couldn't get her story out there. And if she had raised more money, had a more robust campaign, she could have been able to maybe do both things and have a little easier path. So it's a strategic choice. It backfired. But I don't necessarily think it was the wrong choice. It just went to someone who didn't.
Well, it didn't work.
If she had raised more money, had more friends, had more allies, and wasn't in the position she's in,